So if you want to become somebody new, you have to understand that your old self has to die. If you don't take control of the reins of your mind, it will take control and reign over you. Yo, welcome back to the Socially Blessed Podcast, where we are making meaningful connections through shared experiences. Man, my name is Emmanuel. I'm your co-host for today. I'm a real estate investor and filmmaker here in Atlanta, CEO of JB. And yeah, man, welcome back to another episode, man. So as y'all can kind of see, my host, my boy ain't here today, you know what I'm saying? It's all right. I just want to drop by and give y'all some words of encouragement for today. A lot of us are on this self-improvement journey, and it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and when you're trying to navigate it, you know, sometimes you need a bit of guidance. So we'll get into the topic in just a few, but how's y'all day, man? If you're watching on YouTube, hey, drop exactly how y'all day was in the comment section. My day was a little bit off today. I was doing a lot yesterday, really, and it kind of bled in today because I didn't get much sleep, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it moving. But it's some things that I took heed to during this process so that it won't happen again. So, yeah, man. But besides that, I want to get into this topic for today. So the topic for today is you against you. There's no enemy outside of yourself. So this topic is it may be a bit controversial for a couple of y'all, but when we are on this self-improvement journey, a lot of people, including myself when I first started, we externalize a lot of the challenges that we go through, and we externalize becoming somebody new. When the whole point of self-improvement is to change self. When you externalize something, you're putting the change outside of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And you're kind of looking at things from an outward point of view when it's an inward reflection, you feel what I'm saying? So when I first started this journey, it was a lot of things I wanted to actually improve upon, you know, not even just get my own apartment, making money, you know, and kind of doing my own thing. I actually wanted to do a lot more. Like, I wanted to be more charismatic. I wanted to get better gains in the gym. It was so many different things I wanted on this journey, but I started by looking outside of myself. Like, what can I do? What can I eat? You know, what can I do in my morning routine? Let me go out to more events. Let me go speak to more people. And what I wasn't understanding during that process was that these are only outward actions, right? And actions is really kind of like the last thing you do. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when you hear a lot of rich people speak or a lot of healthy people speak about their journey on this, you know, their long journey on this road to becoming who they are today, they always talk about mindset. And mindset doesn't get talked about enough, right? Mindset is like one of literally the pivotal pieces to actually making lasting change in your life. If you are not changing what's going on up here, your actions will not reflect anything. Imagine you go to the gym and, you know, you may be a little overweight or you may be underweight. You want to put on some gains or whatever it is. You want a new body, right? If you go in there with the same attitude, with the same mental nose, same mindset that got you to who you are today, you think you're going to have lasting change in the gym? No, you're not. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just been my experience. You know, I have seen, like, every time when I first started even going to the gym, I was doing it with the intentions of becoming somebody new, as opposed to already becoming that new person within me. You know what I'm saying? And that is really the elixir of self-improvement right there. You can't become somebody new unless you change here first, right? And on that journey, I started to externalize why my results weren't coming in. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm like, wait, I'm eating all the right foods. I'm working out 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. I'm burning out, you know, or even in business, I'm getting all these bookings, but I still feel the same financially. Like I still find myself running into paycheck to paycheck, or I still find myself exhausted coming from the gym and still seeing the flabs on my body. Like it's certain things I was noticing. I'm like, bro, why is this happening to me? Why is my results not coming? I'm doing all the right things. And I had this guy come to me and tell me, he was actually in the gym. He was like, I asked him, I said, bro, how do you get the gains that you have? Like, how do you, get there? He said, have you been changing what's up here? Because this really comes first. If you don't change the viewpoint of yourself up here first, the actions you do are not gonna really make a difference, right? And from that moment on, I started to understand, like, wait, there's a version of me that has gotten me to where I am today. And in order for me to become somebody new, I have to become a new version of myself. You feel what I'm saying? A new version of myself is not just, oh, I'm gonna just do different things. I'm gonna just go do, right? That is the last part of the equation. The other part is mindset. What are you currently thinking about yourself, right? So once I started to actually make this journey, I was like, whoa. Like I literally saw change come way faster with less work. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, wait, all I had to do was make one simple change up here, right? And in our previous episodes, me and AJ spoke about or touched on different topics about the mental controlling what's external. Your inward reality, right? This is where God resides. Your inner world creates what you see outside of yourself. The thoughts you keep thinking, the feelings you keep feeling is going to externalize. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what you're giving God. And God is like, he's no respecter of person. So, and you're a creator yourself. You are a creator. You are co-creating this reality with God. So what you keep giving God is what you're going to keep getting back in your reality, right? And God does not communicate through actions because God is something that we cannot see. God is a higher faculty than us that we cannot see. So why don't we take action in the unseen world? You get where I'm going at? So when it comes down to this topic of it's you versus you, there's no enemy outside of yourself. When you embark upon a new journey to become somebody else, I'm telling you right now, your old self is going to reach out and grab you and say, no, come back. This is new territory. This is something I've never experienced before. No, come back. I'm scared. No, come back. I don't want to go this way. I don't like change. Your mind does not like change, but you are the control of your mind and you grab the reins of your mind. Right? So if you want to become somebody new, you have to understand that your old self has to die. Your old self has to die in order for you to become somebody new. It has to die, right? So on this journey, for me, even getting the apartment I got and all this other stuff I got right now, right? I literally had to become somebody new. I had to start paying bills that was outrageous. Like, I'm looking at myself like, God dang, I ain't never paid this much per month, But I had to become somebody new, which means it took new resources, right? It took all these different things. Now imagine if I stuck in my old self, just working harder at the job I was at. Imagine, I would be probably working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, just to compensate for how much I gotta pay per month, right? So it's like, how can you change yourself now in this moment if your old self is gonna keep pulling you back? Right? Well, here's what I've done. I've done this consistently. I've learned from people like Neuro Knowledge on YouTube. Shout out to him. Wait, you're gonna get some. I've learned from him. I've learned from another dude on YouTube. I believe his name is DG Mindset, Tony Robbins, a lot of different preachers. But the key here is to understand that your internal reality and your mind creates what comes next, always, right? And if you want to embark upon this journey of becoming somebody new, making more money, getting new friends, establishing a new body for yourself, moving to a new land or whatever it is, you got to understand your old self is going to do everything in its power to keep you from doing that. Because number one, your old self is basically like a separate entity. And what I meant by it must die in order for you to become somebody new, it must literally die. Like the old patterns, the old thoughts you keep thinking, the old emotions that you kept feeling, right? For all these years, the old actions that you kept doing, right? All these things contribute to the old you. So that means that now you have to literally kill that old you. How do you kill that old you? This is what I did. Every moment throughout my day, anytime, like I knew exactly what my new reality consisted of. Like I knew exactly what my new reality consisted of. If I wanted to make more money, I said, okay, cool. I'm not finna work 4 or 5 jobs. I'm not doing that. But I told myself, how about I charge more for my bookings? How about I go request more for the jobs I go to, right? Next thing you know, something falls on my lap, right? But I'm gonna tell you about that, how it fell in my lap. But I knew exactly the person I wanted to become, right? And once I knew the person I wanted to become, it was like, okay, cool. Now I know, now I gotta figure out what thoughts is this person thinking, right? What thoughts, what feelings is this person feeling? Who is this person, right? What does he look like? How does he dress? How does he walk, right? And these were very subtle changes, but I locked into this new reality of self mentally first, right? And then I started to think like that person, like my new self. Anytime I had any circumstances or situations that came up in my life, I reacted differently than that, right? So let's just say my goal is to become more calmer, more relaxed. If I'm driving on the interstate and my old self used to react to cars swerving in front of me, and my old self used to react like, why did he do that? Yo, what's going on? Or I'm swerving, trying to get in the fast lane, going around cars, listening to all this hype music so I can get through the road fast, or I'm trying to rush to get to work, or I'm trying to rush to get home, right? That was my old self. But if I want to be more calm, I'm getting my butt in that third lane on the highway and I'm coasting. I don't care if it's a truck that's going 20 miles per hour. I may go around the 20 miles, but I ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's too slow. But I'm still gonna be calm. I'm listening to calm music. If a dude cut me off, that's smooth, bro. He probably got somewhere to be. It's all about your perspective, right? In order to become somebody new, you have to change those inner workings, those inner patterns, those inner thoughts, those inner feelings. You have to change that, right? And if you are not willing to change that, you are not willing to become somebody new. And your old patterns, they're very, very tricky, right? And there's so many different things that throw at you, you know? So I had a moment, I discussed this in my last video about anxiety. There was a lot of stuff I was going through. And the moment I actually I wanted to drop that old reality, it literally came and snuck its way back in so many subtle ways. And I'm like, oh, you sneaky. You feel me? It's like circumstances will pop up that get me anxious. I'm like, wow. And then I'll catch on to it. And then next time it happens, I may react differently. But then another moment come, and then that I'm not ready for, it just catch me on guard. Like maybe somebody swerving in front of me. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Then it get me anxious, right? Or I have a panic attack or something like that, right? So it's very sneaky. Like your old reality is very sneaky. It's gonna try to entrap you and snare you so that you won't go nowhere. The biggest way that you can be able to get over that hurdle is by simply affirming in that moment, catching it immediately and saying, nah, be smooth. Nah, I'm buying into my new self. Nah, I'm not buying into this old self no more. Right? And people may externalize it and say, oh, it's the devil out here. It's this, that, and the third, which it very well may be. However, I try to eliminate all of those external cues because I want to put a lot of responsibility on my plate. Because the more responsibility I can take within my own self in connection to my own reality, the better I will become as a creator, because now I can be able to moderate my thoughts, moderate my feelings, and take better control over my mind. I saw this quote online about if you don't take control of the reins of your mind, it will take control and reign over you. And that is so important, man. And I try to tell a lot of people about this. It's so important to really, truly understand that, like, bro, relax. Because in order for you to make decisions for you deciding which reality you want to experience, right? Because it's all in your control. This is all in your control. All in your control. My mom and my dad always taught me about that. This is all in your control. God is giving you free will right now to make decisions that you need to make. You know, every decision ain't gonna be perfect. But if you learn how to relax and still that noise and calm down first and clear your mind, then you can make a better decision, right? In any moment. So when you are having those moments or those circumstances where you feel like, yo, what's going on in my life? Take control at that moment and say, what do I want to experience? Know exactly what you want to experience and hold on to that. And then whenever those moments do come, those circumstances do come where you're experiencing some type of friction, negativity in your reality, you can say, I'm calm. I'm buying into this new person, this new self, right? And like I told y'all before, it's all about understanding what this new person does to a T. Like, know this new person. Once you know this new person, you can easily become this new person, because now it's like when circumstances do come or do arise that are contrary to the new self, you can easily say, nah, bro, nah, I don't want to experience this no more. And this is how you heal. This is how you overcome traumas. This is how you become a new person. This is what rich people do. This is what, you know, not necessarily all rich people, but rich people that came from nothing. This is what people who have changed and transformed their realities do. This is what I did. And that's all it takes, is for you to have enough awareness to understand this is who I want to become. And this old self is going to try everything in its power to pull me back. Because your mind doesn't like change. So your mind is always going to send out these signals of the old self until those neural pathways within your mind are changed and transformed. Once those neural pathways in your mind are changed and transformed, then you'll find yourself in the new reality. But it's going to be hell before then, because the old reality is like, especially if you've been doing it for years and you got a lot of emotional trauma embedded within that old reality. So you have to really take awareness and understand that it's you versus you. It's really you versus you. It's really you versus you. I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, if you want to externalize your traumas and your past or whatever, if you want to externalize and say it's the devil, by all means, do what you do. I'm not here to change or transform nobody, but I'm telling y'all what worked for me. I wanted to take responsibility for my life, because now I feel like, cool, I just need to change this, and this. Send that signal to God, and God is like, all right, cool, boom, I'm giving it to you. I wanted to do this for myself. I'm giving y'all information and advice from my own experiences. If you want to become somebody new, you want to experience a new reality, define what that new reality looks like to a T. Know what it looks like, know what it sounds like, know what it smells like, know what it feels like. Once you get to that point, spend every waking moment in that new reality. Imagine like crazy. Just become a chronic imaginer. Just imagine every moment. When something happens in your reality, don't react to it. Just respond. If something external that is not what you want to experience happens to you, don't react to it. Don't put that emotional signature on it. Just look at it and say, okay. It's literally going to kill itself on its own, because the simple fact that you're not giving it what it needs to survive. It's you against you. And once you figure this out, and once you really tap into that, it's like, whoa, This is what I did. I literally did this. My old self would have never, my old self would have been like, bro, that's too much money. That put too much stress on you. And I'm gonna be honest, it did kind of put a lot of stress on me, but I became a new person. I started eating better. I started to meditate more. But these were the results of me changing up here. I was like, I cannot bring my old self in here. I cannot bring my old self here. I'm gonna be right back at my parents' crib. So I said, something has to change. And I made the change. I made the changes necessary to become that new person first up here. Once these changes are made up here, you got new neural pathways, you giving that signal to God, like, look, this is what I want to experience now. Because God is not a respecter of persons. So God is literally gonna give you exactly what you put out. What you give is what you receive. So if you want to receive something different, give something different. Become somebody different. But you got to give it in your thoughts and your feelings first, because those come first before what we see out here. Hope you guys really took some food for thought out of this, because me and AJ, even though he's not here yet right now, he's not gone, he's just at school. He's flying planes, you know what I'm saying? He got business to attend to, you feel what I'm saying? But besides that, man, I just wanted to kind of hop on here and give y'all a bit of encouragement, a bit of advice. If y'all are on this journey of self-improvement and you guys are having problems and issues with becoming somebody new, manifesting your dream reality, it's all about changing up here. It's all about understanding it's you versus you. And I promise y'all, I have done this like on my own. I wanted to become somebody new, and I wanted to become somebody new fast, because a lot of things were crumbling in my reality. And I just said, what change needs to be made first? It was this change. I thought action equal result. Action is literally the last thing you do. This is the realm of effect. So what's destined to come out in what we see is the byproduct of what we see and hear. If you guys liked the video and this podcast, man, if you were watching on YouTube, make sure you like and comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. If you are on podcast platforms, man, make sure y'all follow us. Follow us on Instagram. It's Socially Blessed, the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, I think I said that enough. My God. All right, y'all be easy.